Okay, so today we're talking about buying the Xbox Series S in 2025, whether it's a good thing or not, and as a PlayStation guy, will I regret my decision? Now, I've been a PlayStation fanboy since the PlayStation 1. I did sort of deviate to the Xbox 360 around that era just because it was the one that come out first out of that and the PS3, and also the games, the games were special. The likes of Gears of War, Halo, and all my mates at the time were on Xbox. So yeah, it just made sense. Now I do own a PS5. I've had it for around, 3 years at this point now, and I absolutely love it. All the games, the exclusives, online multiplayer, all that good stuff. So you're probably thinking, why are you buying the Series S? Well, to put it simply, it's the games. I miss the likes of Gears of War, Halo, all those sort of shooters, the story mode games. I just need that bit of nostalgia in my life right now. Now, I have tried out the cloud gaming by Xbox on my laptop and my monitor, and yeah, it was okay, but it just wasn't the same. Sometimes it would lag, sometimes the frame rates and the graphics were all over the gaff, even if I was right next to my router. And yes, it might be better wired in terms of the connection, but I just don't think the tech is there yet. And another question you might be thinking, why didn't you buy the Series X? Well, they're bloody expensive. Now, retailing for about 450 quid, yeah, I'm not trying to spend that money, and even on the used market, they're still expensive. Also, I'm not trying to buy physical discs just because of space. Yes, long term, it works out cheaper, I guess. All I want to really do is pay for the Game Pass, and yeah, let that be that. But look, we've spoken too much already. Let's get this bad boy open and see what's what. Now, this is a used console just because I got it off eBay and yeah, got a pretty good deal. The Series S, the base model, which I got with 512 gigs, they do retail for around 250 quid, but I picked this up for 160. But let's open this bad boy up and hope it's in one piece. So the box isn't in the best condition, but at the same time, it's not the worst, so I'm not too mad, as long as the console's all good. So opening it up, yes, you got the Xbox inside of the lids, and then you have this little compartment with the wires. Comes with a HDMI wire and also the plug to power on the thing itself, and the controller too, which to be fair looks in pretty good nick. It looks honestly almost brand new. And now the console itself. It's a lot smaller than I thought it'd be. And man, it's light too. I'm defo happy I got this over the Series X just because of how big that thing is. But you do have the ports at the back, the Ethernets, the USBs, the HDMI, the storage expansion, and the plug for the power. And you got another USB port at the front and also a pairing button, I think, for the controller, and the Xbox logo to turn the thing on. Right, that's pretty cool. It's in very good nick. Looks almost brand new, honestly. No marks, and yep, the description on the eBay listing said so I'm happy. But what I need to do though, just for my own sake, get some wipes out, disinfect this whole thing, wipe it clean, just because I'm a bit of a germaphobe, and then, yeah, I think we'll sell it up. Okay, so whilst I'm cleaning this thing, this holds a lot of power in such a small body. I know it's not the most powerful gaming console out there, especially for this generation, even comparing it to the PS5 and the Series X itself, but you know what? The whole disc-free sort of console was what I was looking for, and for a good price as well, and who knows if I'm even gonna keep it long term. Reasons being because allegedly Xbox games and exclusives are meant to be coming to PlayStation. So yeah, it was a bit of a risk buying this because of that, but bruh, I believe it when I see it. I've been waiting for Halo and Gears of War for like decades at this point now. And also I forgot to mention, I actually got the original Xbox on release. I got it for Christmas, like in 2000 I think it came out. But when I booted up Halo, oh man, I just remember that. It was so iconic, you know, the co-op aspect to it as well, playing with your mates, split screen. Man, I can't wait to play all those games again, especially like the remastered versions where it's all better graphics, frame rates, all that good stuff. Now the question is, what game am I gonna play first? You know what happened with the Xbox cloud gaming thing? I started off with the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, got very far, but it just got so frustrating with all the lagging and all that stuff. So I thought, you know what? I'm not gonna play it anymore until I can actually get myself an Xbox or sort something out in terms of wired connection. In the end, you know what's happened. Okay, now I have to figure out where this thing is going because this desk, getting a bit too crowded, bruh. But where there's a William, there's a way. Let's go. I really didn't know how small it is. Like, look at that. That is crazy how small it is. Right, so we've set up the Xbox where it's on the outside. There we go. Let's boot it up. Let's hope it works. Okay, so we're just setting up on the Xbox app where I have to sign in and all that good stuff. Let's go. Erkin.Merkin. Dominic Santiago. Let's go. We're all set. Thank God for that. It's going to be interesting to see how many games I can install on this 512GB hard drive. We're going to try and add all the Gears of Wars on here. Okay, Gears of War Ultimate Edition is 40GB. So yes, that's going to be a bit of a wait, unfortunately, but at least we've got them all here. I'm also going to try and do the Halo stuff. Let's have a look. Halo, where do we start? The Master Chief Collection. Yeah, we have to, don't we? Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go get something to eat, come back in hopefully about an hour or so when it's all installed, at least one game, so we can have a go. Oh, Gears of War's installed. The music. Ah, the music is amazing.
Until Emergence Day.
Wow, the graphics is amazing.
In time,
Whoa.
the valiant defense was crushed.
Oh my days. Goosebumps. I don't know why, because I've literally played half of this game on the cloud service, but I'm still excited. Right, now we can go and get something to eat, come back again in about an hour or so, play this bad boy, and hopefully this time I can complete it. But I just got to say, I'm absolutely buzzing that there's no stutter, there's no pixels I can actually see because it's a proper game. It's downloaded on a console, it's not streamed. I'm happy. So far, so good. And yeah, we just got to wait for the rest of the games to install and the rest of this game to install as well. But I am hungry, bro. So yeah, I guess I'll see you in a bit. Right, bit of a problem. Had my dinner and came upstairs. Turned out the Xbox turned off after an hour of not using it. Forgot to change the power options, didn't I? So it is still 85% after 2 hours. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. But what I'm gonna do, take the Xbox downstairs very quickly, plug it in wired into my router, and in that way, it should speed up a little bit of at least Gears of War and the rest of the games. Gonna leave it for about 20-30 minutes or so and drink the rest of my cup of tea. Yo, the best, baby. Okay, so we've hooked it up down here in the living room, this little bad boy, and I'm pleased to say it's going very quickly. So we are onto Gears 2, installing it now or downloading it. Luckily, the older games are a lot less in terms of storage. So this is about 7GB, which is always good news. So yeah, we're going to give it about 10-15 minutes and download what we can, and then back upstairs. Can we just give appreciation to the OG Xbox startup screen? Whew. Now that's special. That is special. Right, so here we go. So we're started off where I finished on the streaming service on my laptop. So I'm just grateful I don't have to start all the way at the beginning. But yeah, it's running very smoothly. So smooth, actually. It's weird because I'm not used to it. Now, I don't know how great it's going to capture on my camera, but on my monitor, like directly, it's great. Wow, this feels so smooth. Oh my God. I forgot all the buttons. How do I throw a grenade? I ain't got grenades, that's why. I'm so rubbish at this game. This is great. This is all I needed when buying this game. Chainsaw, baby. Chainsaw, baby. Woo, this game is great. What a game. Can I just say, shout out to the quick resume as well, because it is so fast and it leaves you exactly where you left off. And for a console that's like on the cheaper side compared to the Xbox Series X, I'm all here for it. Achievement? Oh man, I love that sound, honestly. Frame rate's great, graphics are great. And for a game that's how many years old at this point now? Amazing. Wow, the graphics for the age of the game is actually unreal. I want to actually go back and play the original Gears of War just to see how it compares. I know a lot of people are saying this was a great addition in terms of the additional content and everything, but it did lack that gritty feeling the original had and stuff like that. Oh my gosh. I didn't know they could have, that scared me, bruh. I didn't know they could have chainsaws as well. Wow. What a game, what a franchise, and what a piece of hardware for the price. Even at retail, £250. I think looking back now, I would have been happy to pay that. Considering all the value that you get with Ultimate Game Pass in general, even the latest and greatest games come out. Indiana Jones just came out. Bang, it's right on there. So, you know, the likes of FIFA, Call of Duty, all these games that come out straight away are readily available if you pay for the subscription of Game Pass. Can't wait to dive into Halo. I weren't really going to be waiting around all night for it to download and then trying to play it for at least half an hour to get some footage. But in terms of Gears of War, Ultimate Edition especially, yes, I have played it on the cloud streaming service that Xbox offer, but it's night and day. Like having a fully downloaded game on a console that's fully capable with all the hardware, specs, graphics, everything is so much better, but it's just more enjoyable. Like the streaming aspect of it, it's great on a pinch. Maybe wired, it's gonna be a lot better, but there's something missing. With all like the frame rates, the stuttering where it's trying to download every little speck and pixel, it's just never gonna be the same as downloading or having a disc of the game. I got what I wanted in terms of the feeling of being able to play Xbox games, Xbox exclusives with Game Pass, downloaded digitally, whether I've purchased them or downloaded them. And yeah, it's gonna be a very enjoyable next couple months because I bought the 3 months Game Pass, and yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of use out of it. The only downside, which I knew was gonna come, is these games are very heavy in terms of storage. So either I buy a storage expansion card, which I don't think they're too much, or I just sort of play, delete, complete, delete, complete, delete, that kind of thing, which I'm not too mad at doing because if I wanted to just download the game again, I can. It's not that deep, you know? But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Obviously, I'm gonna sort of complete the Gears of War series and then just make my way to Halo. I can't wait. Even the thought of Gears of War E-Day coming out soon, this year, hopefully. Yeah, I've got the console for it now. Yes, it's not as beefy and as powerful as the Xbox Series X, but I guess as a sort of Xbox noob again, a reborn fan of the franchise or platform, it's not really that deep to me because I don't have anything to compare it to. The PS5 compared to the Xbox Series S, I can't compare either. So yeah, there's that. Now the only thing I can say where it went wrong, the Xbox Series S for me at the minute, just getting it and opening it up, is it was stuck on the Xbox logo start screen for ages. Apparently this is a thing and it doesn't happen all the time. It can happen from time to time though. So yeah, you just have to turn it off, take out the plug for a certain amount of time, plug it back in, and then yeah, it's all right after that. Thankfully it is. I'm gonna keep my eye on that though, because that can be worrying. But yeah, especially buying it on the secondary market and a used Xbox. But anyway, very happy. As you can see from the gameplay, I'm rubbish at the game, but I'm rusty. The controls, the actual controller itself is so comfy in hand. I know it's a lot smaller than the DualSense, but it is very easily adaptable. The triggers are just amazing. The vibration in this thing is crazy. Yes, it doesn't have a touchpad, which I need to get used to as well. The button layout in terms of options, and even the function of the X logo, the X button here in the middle, I have to get used to that too. And the fact that I have to keep my eye on the battery because they actually take batteries now. I know I can get a battery pack, but yeah, we're gonna see how it goes, how the battery life holds up in terms of normal batteries. Am I happy with it? Yes, so far so good with the couple hours I've spent this evening setting it up, downloading stuff, sort of personalizing it to my needs and what I want. And I'm definitely gonna be playing this going forward in the next couple of months. Hopefully, I'm gonna do a sort of update, a review, maybe 3 months later with the Xbox Series S, if you guys wanna see that. And I feel like broadening the horizon for this channel, I'm really excited about it, whether it's cameras, Xboxes, PlayStation, phones even. I wanna talk about everything with tech on this channel. In terms of the Xbox Series S, if you're thinking about buying it in 2025, whether it is brand new, whether it is used, do it. If you're a fan of all the games, the exclusives, if you just need a smaller, a cheaper Xbox, or even gaming console, the latest generation, this is probably the best bang for your buck. Yes, it doesn't have a disc drive. Yes, you can't sort of upgrade it like that. You know, the PS5 you can if you get the Slim. You can get the disc drive additionally later on. The Xbox Series S though, you don't have that option. The Series X though, it's a bit of a jump in terms of pricing. There's no like in between, like a disc option to the Series S. I would love that. That would be amazing. To summarize, with all the specs, with all the hardware, with how it performs, the personalization, the game catalog, Xbox Game Pass, Ultimate Pass, whatever it's called, that's worth it for me. Everything. And yeah, if it was my sole gaming console, I'd feel like I'm losing out because I don't have the disc drive. But as an additional gaming console, or if you're someone that doesn't need the disc drive, no big deal, bruh. No big deal. And if you are looking to get a used Xbox, make sure you do your research. Ask the seller on any platform the questions you need answers to. Also, check the pictures thoroughly. Make sure it comes with the box. That's always a plus. And always, always, always check the user credibility, the reviews, the feedback, all that stuff. And I think on eBay and places like that, you have some sort of money back guarantee anyway. Yeah, that's always my advice when it comes to buying things used. The Xbox Series S though, I'm very happy, man. I could have stayed up all night playing this thing, but it's Friday night. The time is almost 12 midnight. Anyways, let me know what you think down below. Are you looking to pick up the Series S? Have you already got one? Are you trying to get the Series X, pay that extra money? Or do you have a PS5? Let me know down below. And if you want more content just like this, yeah, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let me know down below too. Anyways, until the next episode, man, I can't wait to start playing again. Hey, take care.